coming to my mind, Tim, when you said, our field has changed so much and more people understand about this. I kind of challenge that notion a bit. I think within our sex addiction field,
Yeah.
there's more awareness and understanding of the traumatic impact. But I wonder if therapists, coaches at large, I don't know that that population has necessarily increased their knowledge base and understands that. I still have clients coming in where I was diagnosed bipolar, I was diagnosed borderline, and sometimes people are hurtfully being accused of this. So I would say that's another area.
I think there's a lot of growth that needs to take place, but like I used to hear from other therapists, but also from just people out in the community a lot more about, like, with sex addiction. Well, that's the addiction I want to have. Um, and I don't hear those jokes. I still hear them, but I don't hear them nearly as frequently as I used to, which feels like a shift. And when it comes to partners, even if partners aren't working with a sex addiction or partner betrayal expert, I hear that they're more likely that whoever they're working with is stepping into doing trauma work. They're often missing some of the nuances that go with this. So I agree. I think that there's a lot of work that still needs to be done, but I also think that there's been some progress. I don't think we're done with that evolution, but
I was going to say that just as a different podcast we had recently recorded, talking about addiction, about getting someone who has that training.
yeah.
And the same thing for betrayal trauma, that if you think this is you, or you might know someone who applies to, is when you're seeking a professional, are they trained in this work? Are they trained in betrayal trauma? ABSAT certainly offers that training, but so I feel like the greater field still has some learning to do, which, is one of the reasons we do this podcast for everybody.
Well, and I want to expand that to not just professionals, but I mean, look at, I imagine today we have some, and I don't know if it's sex addiction or infidelity, but something happens and someone in the public eye does something, especially if they're a man, will usually get some character, you'll find a bunch of comments that'll look at characteristics of the partner as to why, and it's Judith Herman talked about this in 90s, whatever it was, about why are we looking at characteristics of perpetration in the victim. And I bet today, if we looked, we could find evidence of this. So I think we still have a bigger cultural shift to do, to not, find explanations for people's behaviors based on the victim. So I think we've shifted. I agree, but I still think we have a long way to go as a whole society.